guys, it's Matt Farnham here with another real life question. This is a spinoff of our Real Life at Level 10 series where I actually just relay to you questions that I'm actually getting every day and what those answers are to the questions, and that way hopefully it helps you or anybody you know that might have a similar issue. So a question just came in, was related to solar. I have a client that just texted me and said, hey Matt, what do you think about putting solar in my home? Do you have any resources to share with me or information? So I got on the phone with him and just shared with him, my real estate perspective, which is definitely a bit different than he was probably looking for. But what I shared with him is what we see. And at the moment I'm filming this is summer of 2020, just for perspective, because this could change. But right now, there's a lot of misconceptions about solar. Solar is fantastic. Obviously, a lot of people want to go green. There's a lot of benefits to solar. I will say that with the clients that we help buy and sell homes, when we look at the leases or we look at the bills compared to some of the neighbors with the same floor plan, we do run into situations where the solar home is not saving any money per month on average, and we run into situations where they are. Some save quite a bit. It just depends on neighborhood, the home, and I think the terms of the lease, of course. But so really dig in to make sure that it truly does make financial sense. The other thing to explore is the credits. Some of the tax credits I know are going to be changing in the months and years to come, so pay attention to that and just make sure you're familiar with that. But the main things I can speak to as a realtor are going to be, selling your property. A lot of people say, hey, I'm going to put solar on, I'm not going to move for, another 10 or 15 years. Well, that's what a lot of our clients think, and then life happens and you end up selling sooner. I've met with plenty of homeowners that are listing their home, and they've only had solar on their home for maybe 2 months, 6 months, or a year, and that was not their plan to be in there, that short a time. So reality is this, is if you have a lease system and you need to sell your home, the buyer needs to assume that lease. And oftentimes it's not a challenge to do that, but we have run into issues where the lease terms are not favorable, and it actually deters the buyer from buying the home. And we've had challenges. Eventually we get them done, but it's not the first or second buyer that come through that want the home that agrees to it. Now, there are some very solid, reputable companies out there. If you want some more information, you can always contact us or do your research on which ones are known for having very easy transitions to future buyers. So I would make sure that that company has that in place, and don't just take their word for it, but ask around. And then also make sure the lease terms are extremely favorable. And it comes with the purchase systems. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to lease, I'd much rather purchase, and I get that. And there might be a lot of benefits to purchasing, but at the same time, a big home might be $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 to put a solar system onto the home. When reality is, if you sell that home today, this is summer of 2020, probably only get $10,000 or $15,000 more for your home. And I know that sounds dramatic, but that's real. Reality is it's just not the premium on a resale that you would think it is or hope it would be right now. That could change in the future for sure. But one of the main setbacks is that appraisers, when they give value to a home, number one, is they have to have data. They have to show pretty much, this home is very similar to that home. That home had solar, this one didn't have solar, and this one sold X dollars more, and see consistency with what that premium really is. And then that's how they can adjust value accordingly. So, again, that might change in the future. And then right now, because solar isn't on a majority of homes, it's on many now, but you see a list price, you see pictures, you see a floor plan, and when you have your price $30,000 higher than your neighbor because you have solar and they don't, everything else is equal, at its first impression, it looks quite a bit higher priced. And it's not as, alarmingly obvious that that's why. And the value is not always seen and justified there. So anyways, just some things to think about. That's a real life answer of what's really happening out there in real estate when it relates to solar. Again, could be very beneficial for you, but just some things you should know. So any questions, always reach out to our team. We love hearing from you. Again, this is Real Life Questions, a spinoff of our Real Life at Level 10 series. All right, guys, take care.